Dear students, in this semester, our course title is Plant Diversity and the course code is 17 UBOA 11. And in our online classes, so far we have discussed about biodiversity and then algae, fungi, and bryophytes. So, in the biodiversity, we came to know about the importance of the collective plants, animals, and microorganisms, either at the district level, state level, national level, or international level. So, the plant, not only the plant community, the animals as well as the microorganisms are highly beneficial for us in one way or other. So, that we have discussed in the topic biodiversity, and we came to know about what are the levels of biodiversity, like genetic biodiversity, species level biodiversity, and ecological level biodiversity. And how can we conserve, how can we protect the biodiversity using either in situ conservation or ex situ conservation methods. And then we moved on to algae. And we know very well that algae are chlorophyll bearing, autotrophic, thallophytes. They are non vascular, and also there is no flowers at all, there is no seeds also. And also we came to know that there is no embryo formation in the case of algae. Then from fungi, what we came to know is fungi are achlorophyllous, that is, there is no chlorophylls. Achlorophyllous, eukaryotic, all are having well developed nucleus, so all are eukaryotic, but they have different mode of nutrition. Because of achlorophyllous, they are all heterotrophs. They may be, some of them may be saprophytes, some others are parasites, still some others are having symbiotic relationship. For example, a lichen, already we saw the pictures related to that. And also they have mycorrhizae, an association of the fungus with the roots of the higher plants. And also we discussed about the economic importance of fungi, for example penicillin, as well as how we can use the chlorella in the control of sewage water. How can we convert the sewage water into agricultural purposes, for agricultural purposes? Well, then we discussed, move on to the another group of plants which we came to know about, amphibians among plants. Amphibians among plants. Those are having bryophytes or having a name called bryophytes. Well, next to that, from today onwards, we are going to discuss about another group of plants. Another group of plants. So you can see another group of plants like this, in which you can see the leaf-like structures. Almost they are developed leaves, and also you can see in some plant they we can see a well-developed stem system also. And most of them are terrestrial in nature. They are all terrestrial. They are all the land plants. So they are found on the surface of the soil. So this group of plants, not only this, I will show you some other slides. You can see here the leaves are entirely different from what we have discussed so far. When we discussed about algae or bryophytes, we came to know that they are all having no well developed leaves. They are all having leaf like structures. But here you can see almost a developed leaf system because they have the xylem and phloem also. And also you can see the backside of the leaves, there are some important structures, say some sorus like structure. There are some pouch like structures inside that the spores are present. That we will see one by one later. Just for understanding, I am showing this particular photograph. And also you can see the plants are producing a well developed rhizome. At the bottom you can see there is a rhizome, and also well developed root system is also present, a well developed stem, and the leaf parts. You can see the leaves. At the back of the leaf, at the back side of the leaf, you can see an important structure called sori, S-O-R-I, sori. That is in plural. In singular, it is known as sorus, S-O-R-O-U-S, sorus. So this we will see one by one later. And also these are all some of the examples. You might have heard about the word called fern, F-E-R-N-S, ferns, perennial. In Tamil, it is known as perennial. So these are all the group of plants. See, this particular plant is called Selaginella. This is in our syllabus that we will discuss in other classes. Okay. So what I showed to you is about a group of plants. They have primitive structures. They have root system. They have developed stem as well as leaves. And mostly they are all going to be terrestrial in nature. And these group of plants are known as pteridophytes. They are all known as what? Pteridophytes. 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 So these groups are known, plants are known as pteridophytes. As we know very well, the word phytes comes from a word called phyta, that means plants. Phyta means plants. And this word pterido, so this comes from a word called pteron, P-T-E-R-O-N, pteron. Pteron means feather like, F-E-A-T-H-E-R, feather. Just before I showed you a leaf like structure in which you can see the leaves are completely in the form of a feather of a fowl. ஒரு கோழியில் எப்படி இருக்குமோ அந்த இறக்கை மாதிரி இறகு மாதிரி காணப்படுவதனால this is known as what? Feather. That is in the common English. The equivalent word from the Greek is the pteron, P-T-E-R-O-N. So this group of plants which are specifically and entirely differs from algae and bryophytes. Okay. So these plants have been assigned a particular name called pteridophytes. And what are the general definition? Generally, how can we understand about these plants? So these plants are basically, because of having the primitive type of vascular nature, they are having vascular. The plants are vascular, there is no doubt. At the same time, they are all spore bearing. They are having spores, but flowerless. That means no flower. At the same time, the reproductive parts are highly hidden in nature. They are not visible to our naked eye. So that they are known as cryptogams. Cryptogamous or cryptogams. Crypto means what? Hidden. Crypto. K-R. This actually comes from the word called K-R-Y-P-T-O. Crypto. So crypto means what? Hidden. மறைந்திருக்கிறது. So it is hidden. It is present in the plant but it is not visible to our naked eye. Okay. So if you combine all these, then we can assign these terms to a particular plant groups. So those plant groups are basically known as what? The pteridophytes. And the study of pteridophytes is known as pteridology. Pteridology. So logy means that we know very well study. So pteridology means the study of pteridophytes, about pteridophytes. Suppose if you are interested or a particular person is interested in knowing about this group of plants, then that particular science is known as what? Pteridology. And that particular person who is very much involved in the research of are known as what? Pteridologist. They are known as what? Pteridologist. Okay. Well, so now we come to know about what is a simple definition we can give, or how can we understand about this group of plants which are having a developed root system with underground rhizome, and also there is a developed stem portion and leaves. But leaves, when we say, it is not like angiospermic leaves, but they are the primitive type of leaves, because during the evolution we know very well the life were originated in the aquatic environment, and then slowly the land was occupied by the plants, particularly by the bryophytes. And some 380 million years ago, this universe, this land area was full and fully, not full and fully, to the maximum extent was occupied by this group of plants called pteridophytes. So in our later classes, we will discuss in detail about the characters of pteridophytes. So now just I want to recap what we discussed so far. So the course is the plant diversity, and in that we already discussed about biodiversity, algae, bryophytes, and also the fungi. So conventionally the fungi are being studied along with the plants. But after the Whittaker system of classification, the fungi are considered as a separate domain. However, still we follow that fungi is also as plants. Only thing is they are not having the chlorophylls, and also their cell wall is made up of lignin. So these points and already we discussed, and now we came to know about what another group of plants are available which are having vascular structures, spores, of course no flowers, and at the same time they are all cryptogamous. Their reproductive structures are highly hidden. So thank you. We will meet in another class.